Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the International Citizen Student Show, episode 2. My name is Dr. Alex Fenton, and I'm joined by my co-host, Trevor. Do you want to reintroduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Depends on where you are and the part of the world where you are currently, but good morning from here in Chester. We're currently at Chester in the United Kingdom. My name is Trevor Murray, and I'm an MBA director here at the University of Chester. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Trevor. So thanks, everyone, for joining us. So today we've got a very special episode and some really brilliant guests lined up for you, and we're going to focus specifically on South Asia, and we've got some really good guests from India and from Pakistan. We're going to be talking to you today, both some of our current students and from this region, and also our in-country directors. So I'm first of all, Trevor, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on recently at the university, and we've recently had our fantastic graduation, haven't we? So I just wanted to show a couple of images, because it's got to be, Trevor, one of the most impressive graduations going, hasn't it? So here's a couple of snapshots of Trevor and myself and a colleague, Carl, there from the Chester Cathedral, which is a 1,000-year-old incredible building in the centre of Chester. It's an incredible occasion with lots and lots of international students. It's a great day, Trevor, wasn't it?
Absolutely, it was beautiful, and that was 2 weeks today, and it was really good experience. Having to see students who came into Chester from the point of unknown, uncertain, to coming out, walking down the stage, shaking hands with the vice chancellor and getting their degrees. That was really, really beautiful. I'll tell you this, Alex, you won't believe it. This is one of my greatest moments being a teacher. It's that point where you feel that sort of fulfillment. Seeing the students, like you've planted a seed and you can see it become a really big tree with lots of beautiful fruits coming out and beautiful, nice flowers. So well done, guys.
Brilliant. You can just see on the bottom right there, my colleague Abdul as well, who runs our programs around international business. I had a really good chat with Abdul as well about Ramadan and fasting and the kind of physical, spiritual, mental benefits of that. It was so brilliant to hear about it. It was really inspiring because he spoke about it with such passion about Ramadan and fasting and pilgrimage and things like that as well. So that I found these events, it's such a great chance to talk to colleagues about the different cultures and religions. And obviously it is the holy month of Ramadan as well. And I've also got Elahor, our co-host, isn't with us today, but it was brilliant to see Elahor graduate as well. She's been so successful, hasn't she? She also did a talk as well. You can see her on the right-hand side there to thousands of our international students and their families. So that was a really special moment. And you can see I was just a few feet away from Elahor when she was presenting. And at the bottom right there, we've got Tammy, who's going to be one of our speakers very shortly, who graduated as well. So that was such a special occasion, Trevor, wasn't it?
Absolutely, it was really, really good. And that you've mentioned Ramadan as well. And also, I also had students in the class on Monday, some really wonderful students from India who were talking about the celebration of colors. And that was done in India. I think that was a few days ago. So they had colors, throwing colors around, which was really, really good. I know that really beautiful culture, religious stuff. So here at Chester, when it comes to, it doesn't matter your religion, your culture, as far as we're concerned, it's really, really multicultural. And we are there to entertain and accept all cultures,
Absolutely.
And it was even more interesting that we had Jill from the chaplain and another chaplain representative. They were all at Queen's Park on Monday to speak with lots of our international students. To talk about different faiths. So regardless of the faith which you've got, we're there to support you. And that is something that we're really, really keen about, because we understand that all of this is all part of your student experience. And that's something we champion here at Chester.
That's brilliant, Trevor. And there's some images there from a Holi festival as well. I was over on the main campus yesterday, and there was the Chestival, lots of music going on. And I can hear in the background now at our Queen's Park campus, I'm looking right over the river, and there's some music and fun going on as well. So there's just so much going on. And as you say, such a multicultural experience. And just to round off this bit as well, Trevor, some more good news for the university. The What You Need Student Choice Awards voted by students. We, Chester, have been voted in as many categories as any university, in fact, all the 10 categories, including University of the Year. So fingers crossed for us, but it's the leading higher education awards based solely on student voice. We've also had the results back of our International Student Barometer, which have come back really positively again in terms of the student experience. The International Centre, the response has been overwhelming in terms of what our international students so positive about their experience with us as well. Some areas that we can improve on, and we've got lots of things happening in that area as well, Trevor. But yeah, some really good moments. So before we press on with the next bit of the show, Trevor, just a couple of notes. So make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, International Citizen Student Show. Please direct your individual questions about applications and CAS, etc., to international@chester.ac.uk, and our colleagues will be responding to some of those comments. But try and send us some general comments. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what some general questions, and we'll try and feature some of those comments and questions on the live show where possible. Okay, so yeah, just a quick reminder on that. We can't answer kind of individual queries about your particular application directly on the show. We'll do our best to answer through social media comments, or make sure you're asking, emailing international@chester.ac.uk. Oh, sorry, Trevor. So I think, Trevor, we can press on with the rest of the show.
Yeah, and please, apart aside you not asking questions about individual situation, don't put like your ID number or any of those sensitive information on the meeting chat, okay?
Yeah.
Please, as much as possible, want to protect you, want to make sure you're safe. So please don't put any of those personal numbers or personal information on the meeting chat. Thank you.
Thanks for that
reminder.
We can
press on, Alex.
Yeah, no, great point. And yeah, we're going to talk a bit about employability and so forth in a minute, and invite our students in to come and talk to us. But just a little stat there: 91.5% of our most recent graduates are in employment or further study, according to the Graduate Outcome Survey. So that's come through strongly again, our employability focus and all the opportunities for work as well. So, okay, Trevor. So without further ado, I want to bring in our students. So we've got Adrija's joining here. Tammy is here as well, and Muriel as well. Say hi, guys. How you doing today?
Hello.
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Hello.
Great, thank you, Adrija. Thanks so much for joining us. So I'm so pleased that you've been able to join us. There is nothing better than hearing from our students and about their experience, and I really love talking to our international students about their stories. So I'm going to invite you guys one by one to come in and tell us your story, where you came from, why you came to Chester. So I'm going to start off, I think, with Tammy. So I'm going to just Adrija and Muriel put you backstage just for a moment for 5 minutes. So please bear with us. So Tammy, it's over to you. Can you tell us your story?
Hello, everyone. It's a nice, great morning to meet you all here. And thank you for hosting this podcast on International Citizen Student Show, Dr. Alex and Dr. Trevor. It's going to help a lot of international students, those who are going to join and those who are expecting to join in the next intake. So myself, Tamil Arasan, I'm from Chennai, South India. I have 3 years of experience in customer relations, and when I thought of doing my MBA, I preferred joining a university, well-established university in UK, and University of Chester stood out for me for its rich history and their commitment to providing services to the international students from 1838 to till date. And I get in touch with few international students who did their masters before. The feedbacks from them was very good. So I directly took the opportunity to join the best university in the northwest of England. coming to my difficulties, I'd say I had few difficulties, and I've never been out of my hometown. So the first thing is cultural difference. So I started adopting it. When you go to a new place, it's mandatory to get to know about things, how they work, and work accordingly to fix it or to walk according to our goal without any deviations. And the next thing is, I would say, the financial pressure. How you handle the situation when it comes to expenses, how you split your expenses. There is a lot of support services that's been provided to international students from the University of Chester. So, not to worry, international students, University of Chester got you. You can directly approach the team, they'll help you out. And the next thing is housing and accommodation. And again, University of Chester has a lot of accommodation opportunities. You can approach them. Even if the accommodation is filled out, they will help you with the accommodation that's available in and around Chester. And I would suggest to stay in Chester. It's the best and friendly city that you ever been into UK, according to my experience. So it's very friendly. People will be very friendly, and you'll have a lot of support services from University of Chester. You can attend every events that's been hosted by the University of Chester, and this is where it's gonna play a major role, social capital. So get in touch with everyone, uh, be very friendly, share your knowledge, learn a lot. So, and the last thing is job opportunities. As I recently graduated, I've started applying jobs. I'm on graduate visa now, hoping to join a good job opportunity soon. So when it comes to job opportunities, the first thing you have to do is create a good resume, a CV, which will pitch you directly to the employees. And again, I went to the career department in the University of Chester, and from starting creating a CV till now, they've been very supportive to me. I'm happy that I've attended more than 4 or 5 interviews in person. I've attended a lot of interviews online. It will give you experience as an international student. It's different from India. It's very different. Yes, even we're gonna adopt it, we're gonna learn it. So I strongly believe in a code called everybody doesn't have a talent, same talent, but everybody has an equal opportunity to learn and develop it. So it's not gonna. We have a lot of opportunities. Use it wise, and be along with people who are very friendly, and get in touch with them. And I'll close my experience now, and I'll give it to a few of my friends who are waiting at the back to go.
That's brilliant, Sammy. And you've been on an amazing journey, haven't you? I mean, I had the fortune of supervising your dissertation, and I've been kind of working with you, and you've been supporting me. You were part of the panel on the Social Capital conference we did recently, and I loved it. We went for a drink afterwards, and you were telling me how it had been an amazing journey. Coming from India, because you could have stayed in India, but you chose to come to the UK, invest in yourself and your education, and build your social capital. So I feel really blessed that we've met, Tammy.
Thank you, Dr. Alex. It's great, and it's been amazing experience being in University of Chester. And to be frank, I'm missing the module days and the time around University of Chester. But as an alumni, I have a lot of access to a few other events as well. So,
and we speak regularly as well, don't we? And obviously, career service, we're working through it. And very best of luck, Tammy. And thanks so much for that. Okay, so just to move on, I think I'm going to come to Adrija next. Adrija, if that's okay. Let's hear
Yes.
your story.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Jadrija. Right now, I'm doing international business at the University of Chester. And thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really glad to be here today. So, if I talk about my journey, it goes way back because I always wanted to study abroad. And what else is better than choosing UK, because it's like the education capital. And choosing University of Chester had been the best decision I have ever made in my life, because when I first came in here, I was lonely, but when my classes started, I realized that it's so good. I'm part of a lot of societies in the university. I'm also a student voice rep, I'm a student ambassador. So I'm always engaging myself in the university. And I feel like alongside my studies, that is very important for a student. That's the whole student experience. And yesterday only, we had a student voice rep meeting along with our module leaders. And that's what I want to tell every prospective student, that we are always improving the modules, we are always thinking about the students, we are trying to get everything improved better. That's why we have these meetings, and where the students have an opportunity to talk about what we require. It's not always about the module tutors
Mm.
telling us that this is what you have to do. They always listen to our opinions. We give feedback that this is what you have to do, this is what we require as a student. As we are level 7 student, we are master students, our requirements are a bit different, as we directly go to the working world after this. So I always feel that's something University of Chester focuses on. I have always been encouraged by the careers and employability department to make my CV better, which Tamil also talked about, which is very important because as we are in the UK, here the work culture is a bit different. They require a different kind of CV than we used to use in India. So all of them, they have helped me create a CV, how to apply for a job, how to write a cover letter. These things are different in the UK, and I think I'm learning a lot from the university. As I already mentioned, I'm a part of different societies, I'm part of different things that goes around at the university, because I love engaging here. I love doing different things. I'm also, there's an international center at the University of Chester. They are running a international call campaign for the prospective students. I'm part of that also, which is very encouraging. And I feel all the international students, I know it feels a little daunting when we have to come all the way from India or Pakistan or any other country. We are leaving our homes. It's very crazy to think what we do, but if we don't go out of the comfort zone, we are never going to work on ourselves. That's the decision I took. I feel incredibly happy that I took that decision. I know sometimes it gets lonely here, but you're going to make friends. And I would suggest all the international students who are coming here, do everything as soon as possible. Try to get your accommodation, these things done while you are in India or Pakistan or any other country. That will help you when you come to the university. And I think that's the most important thing.
Trevor, can you still hear Adrija? I think we might have lost
No,
her.
I
Not
think
quite.
we've
I
lost
lived a
Okay.
bit
Adrija now.
further.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also,
we just lost you for a
as
second,
an
Adrija.
international student, it might be, sorry, yes.
No problem, Adrija. Do you want to just wrap up for us if you would?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Adrija. So
So I have
yeah,
a
go
great
for it. Go for
experience.
it.
All right, Adrija, thank you very much. I think it's about the network there. That's fine. And if I was just going to ask, thanks for sharing that wonderful experience you've had with us, and particularly telling us about how you've been able to volunteer as a student voice rep. That is really important to me as well as Alex. You know, we think like our students should also point us in the direction of travel. And that is you contributing to what we teach you, how we teach you, and when we teach you. And that is really, really important. Adrija, if I was just going to ask a quick question, I know it's all been like really, really interesting stuff and experience. If I was going to ask you, what would be one challenge that you said you faced, and how did you mitigate that challenge as an international
Uh,
student?
Yes. So I was just saying that there are some challenges as we leave home, come here. We are at first in the beginning we are very lonely here. These are challenging because it's a different country, different culture, different set of things. We don't know how to use a different how to tap card here, how to do the banking. But University of Chester helps everything. I remember when I first went to the university to collect my BRP card and do some other procedure, they have given us all the required document, how to open a bank account when we just come here, how to start classes. They give us map of Chester, how to roam around, where are the student hotspots where we can go. The library is great, which is 24/7 for the master students. We can always go there, use the internet, use the books, study there, spend time. We have different workspaces for students. We have cafeteria all over the university. So as soon as we enter University of Chester, that's our home. We have got everything all together.
Oh,
That's
thank you very
fantastic,
much,
Adrija.
Adrija. Thank you very much for that response. Thank you. Over
Really
to
good.
you, Alex.
And it's
Yeah,
like you say,
thank you
Adrija,
so
there's
much.
so much going on and opportunities, isn't there, to try and get out and meet people. And it can
Yes,
be quite challenging balancing your studies and a lot of our students are working in Chester and some of the
it
surrounding
is.
cities. So
But
it's quite a balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Then I think thanks so much for that, Adrija. I think we will invite
Thank
Bill.
you so much.
Hello.
Hi, Earl.
Hi. Yeah, so I just saw actually in the comments that somebody just asked about securing an accommodation. That reminds me that I didn't go as much of a struggle with accommodation. But I don't know if I can give a tip to the person or not, but it reminds me of the admissions process that I had to go through before coming here. We have this pass portal, I think, and within which there are all sorts of options. One of which was accommodation. So if you have that booked beforehand, before coming here, because there are so many students who come here and be like, we are searching for accommodation and we don't know where to go, what to do, and all confuddled, confused. So, and that pass portal was really useful. It was like a step-by-step guideline thing, and it went through all the things you might need. The travel from airport to your accommodation here, everything settled before that. And that reminds me of my genuine intention to study form, because that concluded lots of things about why I wanted to come here in the first place. So that takes me back to what my journey was. I'm not sure whether we're going to bring slides or not here, but then there was one picture. Yes, that one. If people can see the bottom left, that's where I opened my eyes. That's Services Hospital in Lahore, Pakistan, when I was a baby. Then, um, so I'm a Pakistani by Lahori by heart. I know some of the languages there. Um, After that, I kind of moved to Saudi Arabia. So I lived there for around 8 years. So that hospital on the top left is the hospital I used to live in front of. So there's like a connection there going on. I don't know how. And then after that, living 8 years there, being homeschooled, I finally got to taste what education was like in Brunei when I moved there in 2009-ish. So, coincidentally enough, the place where I lived for 3 years, studying 3 years, and the undergraduate college I went to, the university, was LCB, all in one building. So there's lots of back and forth in my life in those terms. And then, when I'm talking about Brunei, I need to talk about monkeys because it's a tropical country. And the place I used to live in, that whole housing community, it used to have families of monkeys going on. So you would see monkeys on the road sitting and eating orange peels. So that was all part of Brunei culture. And also that when I moved to finally Chester to UK, and as you can see my pictures on the right, my journey has been pretty much from one student as a bachelor student to a master's student, because I've been a really academic student throughout. But moving here, that past 1.5 year that I've spent here was filled with so much fun, with so many unexpected things that I wouldn't have expected from UK, from Chester, and would have only discovered if I have only gotten here, like maybe even before the time I came here. So yeah, that journey from LCB, Lakshmana College of Business, which is an overseas partner campus of Chester, to University of Chester, was pretty much smooth sailing for me. Yes, there's the daunting application admissions phase. But we all get through that, I guess, in one way or another. We finally find ourselves ending up in Chester one day. Uh, Me in particular, I landed myself on the 5th of September, 3rd of September in 2022. So I came here. I managed to actually become a student voice rep myself in that November, December of the year. So because I didn't have to go through as much of a struggles, but I did observe and hear many stories of fellow friends and other students who came from Pakistan, from Nigeria, from India, from Bangladesh, all across the world, other South Asian and non-Asian countries even, and their own journeys as well through life. So whether they've been academics, professionals before, students, for them moving to another country has been like a whole change of life, change of slate kind of a thing. For me, it was pretty smooth sailing. So what I try to do is, if I meet anyone who's going through anything, or like has any questions to ask or problems to sort out, I kind of do the student support kind of thing. Plus, I've been part of like societies from the past year, Pakistani society, and this year Islamic society. So yeah, I mean, if you want, yeah, I think that sums up most of the things. Yeah.
That's brilliant, Meryl. Thanks so much for sharing your journey. That's marvelous. I love the Chester connection there as well, and your journey. It's fantastic. So thanks so much for sharing that, and your thoughts about accommodation as well. That's much appreciated. Okay then, Trevor. I think we can move to the next section of the show. Thanks so much for that, Meryl. I'm going to invite in our colleagues from the International Centre. So without further ado, here is Ali, who looks after Pakistan for us, and here is Kiran. We can't quite see Kiran in a minute, and Ali, I think you're on mute there. But hi, Kiran. Welcome, gentlemen. Kiran, I think you're on mute. Ali,
yeah,
how are you
Trevor.
doing, Ali?
Hi, Ali. Hi, Kiran.
Hello, Alex. Hello, Trevor. Thank you for having me on this International Citizen Student Show. I was just looking at the show, and we have been talking to so many current and past students and their experiences. I hope that is very useful for the students who are planning to join University of Chester in the coming months.
Definitely. We've got quite a few comments already in the chat. Obviously, some of these things are more kind of individual comments. We've answered one around accommodation already, and whether there's a link. Our colleagues have replied there about accommodation. So obviously, for anything about accommodation, you contact our team on accommodation at chester.ac.uk. But Ali and Kiran, obviously, some of our students from South Asia are living in Chester, and some are living in surrounding cities and working. So I don't know if you want to comment on that a little bit.
Yes. So with regards to the accommodation options that students can have at Chester, as they can go for the university-owned accommodations, and then we have partnership accommodations, and then they can stay in the private accommodations. So if the students want to stay on university premises and they want to live in university accommodation, they should be applying within the deadline. And I'll recommend, as soon as they get the offer to study with us and they have paid the deposit, they should start booking their accommodation as well. So if they apply within the deadline, we can guarantee accommodation to all of our undergraduate students. But for the postgraduate students, obviously it's as per the availability. On the accommodation, I mean, since the UK government has now stopped the international students to bring dependents along with them. We don't have family accommodation on campus or at the offer, but the students who are coming to join us for research qualifications, they can always consider to join or stay in the private accommodations. So on the accommodation front, these are the options that students can have. And Kiran, you would like to add something to this?
Yeah, thanks, Ali. Accommodation, see, normally, like what Ali said, for September students, normally accommodation is guaranteed if they apply before the deadline. Okay. On campus, they find different types of accommodation. standard accommodation and studio apartments. Depending on the students' preferences, they can go for standard accommodation or studio apartments. And of course, there are private accommodation is available. A lot of international students prefer private accommodation because when they stay with other students, normally students like to share accommodation costs. So probably if they are looking for affordable accommodation, some students choose for private accommodation if they are coming to Chester in a group. So yeah, so student can choose either private on campus or private accommodation based on their interests and based on their choice of accommodation.
Yeah, and just to add, I mean, yes, as we know that with regards to accommodation, there is some pressure, and that is why it is recommended that students start arranging for their accommodation as soon as they can. And with regards to the accommodation in the nearby cities, students who are unable to find accommodations in Chester, they can consider to stay in nearby cities, for example, Liverpool,
Yeah.
for example, Exam, for example, Wirral, for example, Liverpool. So yeah, they can stay in the other cities, but my personal recommendation would be to stay in Chester and have that actual experience of the city and of their academic experience.
Right.
That's great. I don't know if you're aware if there's a question there about the deadline for undergraduate for accommodation. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that or whether we need to contact the
Not
accommodation
sure.
office.
I don't think it is confirmed yet, but normally when students pay the deposit, the accommodation services department, they normally invite students to apply for the accommodation.
Okay.
So they give the deadline to apply for the accommodation.
Great stuff. And I suppose your choice of accommodation will obviously depend on, say if you can get into Chester, it's brilliant. It's a smaller city. It's a very safe city. There's plenty going on in Chester. But for some of our students, they choose to live in Liverpool and Manchester, as you say, in surrounding areas where there is a bus line, a train line, perhaps more work opportunities, etc. So it will depend on individuals' needs, whether they go for university accommodation or one of our providers, etc. So, sorry, Ali, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just adding on the deadline. The deadline for this year is 9th August, and the students who are planning to stay on campus, they should be applying before this deadline. I mean, it is always recommended to apply for the accommodation as soon as possible, because we have limited accommodation options available, and you would want to secure your accommodation at earliest convenience.
Great stuff. So before we go to any more questions, obviously please do keep your questions coming. But Ali and Kiran, have you got any kind of top advice for students coming from your respective countries? Like, what would you advise our students to do, and why should students come to Chester? Ali, maybe we could start with yourself, Ali.
All right. So, I mean, talking about Chester, for Pakistani students, I mean, the Chester is one of the very popular options. And over the past 4 years, we have been recruiting students from Pakistan. Every year, we are recruiting more students than the previous intakes. And when we talk about University of Chester, at University of Chester, we have a very strong offering for the international student that basically comprises of our very affordable tuition fees, our generous scholarships at undergraduate and postgraduate level, the course portfolio that we have at undergraduate and postgraduate level, the depth and the breadth of the programs that we are offering, and then the location of the university. So if we just look at the university, probably students won't find any good option to study in Manchester within this tuition fees, nowhere near to Chester. So for such students who are looking at a quality education, who are looking at a quality degree, and who want to pursue subject areas as diverse as medical and health sciences and maybe arts and design, they can join us and they can study their degrees. They can have that learning experience in a very happening place. So at University of Chester, the students who are planning to join from Pakistan, they should be applying well in advance, because University of Chester is a very popular university, and at times we receive so many applications that there is some delay, sort of delay, to process the applications. And then over the past 2 intakes, we have seen that at times there can be delays on the UKVI part, on the visa outcome. So it is always recommended to apply well in advance, get the offers, pay their deposits well in advance, get to the cash stage, get the cash letter, and then apply for visa. So the sooner the better.
Right.
That's
So-
great, Ali. And what about from your perspective, Kiran? We've
Yeah,
obviously
apart,
Sammy why you came from India, but what do you say to students, and what do students say to you about studying in Chester, Kiran?
yeah, apart from what Ali mentioned, like the location and also the university, there are a few other advantages we have compared to other universities. One, the recent rankings. I'm sure if I've gone through the recent Guardian and Complete University Guide, we are top 5 in the Northwest region. So that is the main advantage for our students. And also the location, we are close to two important cities, Liverpool and Manchester. So employment-wise, students get a lot of opportunities because they don't only look for a job in Chester, they can also look for Liverpool and Manchester. And our courses, we have good number of courses in medicine. We are very strong in medicine, business management, business courses. And recently we added a few more courses like main courses, especially for my markets, India and Sri Lanka. Artificial intelligence is there, business analytics we have added supply chain management. So we have more courses and good study opportunities for students. And apart from that, the location is also very important, Chester, and it's a very beautiful city, and with more than 2000 years history is there. And of course it is also one of the safest locations and friendly and affordable location for international students.
Absolutely. We were saying, we're top in the Northwest, but in many respects, we're top in the UK. And, if you look at the What Uni Guide, for example, we're shortlisted in all 10 categories, more than anybody, and also University of the Year as well. Some of those results back from the International Student Barometer around the value for money that we provide, the support we provide, chaplaincy as well, with your all faiths or none, etc. I think there's a lot of reasons to. So thanks, gentlemen. You've done a very good job there.
Sorry, Alex, I just want to add one more point here.
Yeah, of course you can, Kiran. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you have come across recently. I was just going through online about most beautiful cities in Chester. Obviously, somewhere I saw Chester was voted the most beautiful city in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that was done by independent newspaper. Probably, I think based on some calculation, golden ratio calculation, and based on the Google Street Views. So they voted Chester is the most beautiful city in the world.
Incredible.
So sometimes I tell students that you're going to study in the most beautiful city in the world.
Yeah. I don't know if I can just show. I don't know if you can see this outside of my window there. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can just about see it. There's a beautiful river going past with the boats.
Yeah.
In the apple tree. It's a stunning place, isn't it? And I think it came out as number 1.
It is.
I think Alex, we lost him there. Ali, can you see Alex at all? Okay,
Yeah, just, by moving my computer around to the window there, I just handily unplugged the network cable, but unfortunately it came back.
And in
So,
fact,
thanks for that, gentlemen. So you've done a good job there, gentlemen, because Abdullah wants to know how he can apply.
So Abdullah, from your name, I can infer that you are a Pakistani student, and students from Pakistan, they can apply through one of our official representatives. University of Chester works with a number of partners in Pakistan, and you can go to them and they can assist you throughout the admission process, and they can even help you with your visa application. But if you don't want to apply through an agent and you want to apply directly, you can launch an application, and then you can contact me and I can support you through your admission process. Application process is very simple. You just need to, I mean, if you are applying directly or if you are applying through an agent, you'll need to complete an online application form, and alongside that you'll need to submit your documents, for example, your previous transcripts, your degree certificates, your DMCs, detailed mark sheets. Will need your personal statement. It is one of the most important documents when it comes to admission, because it gives us the insight why student wants to pursue a particular program. So personal statement, CV, passport copy. If you have done work somewhere, we'll need experience certificates, we'll need employer reference, and alongside that we'll need an academic reference letter where a teacher or supervisor can comment on your learning aptitude. And with these documents, when you apply, university makes a decision, and that decision can be in the form of acceptance or it can be in the form of rejection. So once you get an offer, that is acceptance, and from that onwards you can proceed to meet the requirements and proceed to the next stage of admission, which is care stage.
Fantastic, thank you. Ali, you alluded to this earlier about scholarships as well. I know our colleagues replied there about generous international merit-based scholarships for UG and PG, etc. And you'll be automatically considered by applying. But I wonder if you could build on that a little bit about scholarships and the opportunities for students in your countries. Maybe Ali, if we could start with you.
Yeah. So at University of Chester, we reward the academic achievement of students, and we do offer international scholarships, and we do offer merit scholarships. So at postgraduate level, a student can get maximum £2,500 scholarship, which includes £1,500 international scholarship and £1,000 merit scholarship. Likewise, at undergraduate level, a student can get maximum £2,000 scholarship per year, and over the course of 3 years, the scholarship amount is about £6,000. This £2,000 scholarship per year includes £1,000 international scholarship and £1,000 merit scholarship. The international scholarship, whether at undergraduate level or at postgraduate level, both scholarships are available to every student who is getting admission into the university. So no matter what your grades are, if you are getting admission to the university, you are going to get the international scholarship. And if you are coming with good grades, you can get the merit scholarship as well.
Fantastic, Ali. Kiran, anything to add to that?
Like what Ali mentioned, we give the same scholarships to Indian students from India and Sri Lanka. Of course, academic requirements vary with students from Pakistan. So we offer guaranteed £1,500 scholarship for postgraduate students, and there is £1,000 merit scholarship for students who score more than 60% in their previous education or previous degree. And for undergraduate, we offer £2,000 scholarship that includes £1,000 guaranteed international scholarship and £1,000 merit scholarship.
Great stuff. Thanks so much for that, Kiran. So obviously, everybody watching on, please do keep your questions and comments coming. We've got Mahendra there, who's proud to be a University of Chester graduate, which is really good.
Well done.
Yeah. And it's great as well. We've got students here. We've got Reksa from Nepal joined us, Augustine from India, Bindu from India as well. Hamza is coming from Pakistan, and Hasib is from Pakistan as well. Abfor is from Pakistan, and I think Trevor, we've got a student from Africa as well. So
yes, I think there was one from Ghana earlier. So I think
right,
from different parts of the world, which is really good.
It is good, yeah. So anybody else listening along as well? How we go? It's Nana's there from Ghana. So Trevor, just thinking about, because obviously you're an international student yourself. Is there anything you'd like to say to Nana or other people coming from?
Absolutely. Just before I say one or two things to Nana, I just want to add to what Kiran did mention. Kiran did talk about our School of Medicine, how good it is. Indeed, Kiran, you were very right about that. And to further justify that that comment you made, last week the Minister for State of Health and National Care did visit University of Chester. I spent some time here, and there were really lots of positive comments from him. Working through, taking a tour around the university, the School of Medicine, and everything. He did provide some really, really good comments. So, guys who are out there thinking of coming to Chester again, School of Medicine, very welcoming and up to date, really, really up to date. And I'm sure you enjoy your time here. So I just wanted to add that to what Kiran mentioned earlier. And Nana and others from Africa, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it when you come here. And I've been an international student myself, and from Nigeria, I came here to study then at Sheffield, which was not even like Chester today. That was a long time ago. But today I can tell you, guys from Africa, we've got lots of colleagues from Africa who are also lecturers here at University of Chester. So, for example, we've got people from Ghana. I've got colleagues who are from Ghana heading divisions here. So I'm sure you're going to have a good time here. I have lots of Ghanaians in my program who are MBA students, so you can as well come. So very much we're looking forward to Nana, looking forward to the other guys coming from Africa and from all parts of the world. In my class, I have students from every part of the world. This morning, I was speaking with a student during the PG Cafe session who's from the Saudi Arabia, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and she's already having a good time here. So please, by all means, you are all welcome, and we're looking forward to having all of you.
Just to add one more point to Trevor, if you look at our medicine portfolio, we cover all important specializations in medicine, like cardiovascular, we have respiratory, we have oncology, we have hematology there, and the most popular program is public health. We get a lot of interest from India for public health. Then we have other courses like stem cells, is there medical genetics, is there? So we have good programs in our medical portfolio.
That's really good. We've got a few students. Amy's asking about deadlines for CAS for September intakes. Do you know about the deadlines for those gentlemen at the minute?
Well, we haven't decided the deadlines for September autumn intake yet, but probably we'll be publishing these websites in mid-April. Last year, from experience of the past years, I can probably advise that will be the deposit deadline would be somewhere in mid-June to end June, and the CAS request deadline would be somewhere in late July. So the website will be published on our website, and my colleague Jody has already shared the link for that web page. So students can always go to that web page and they can have the deadlines, the deposit deadline, the CAS request deadline, and then the joining date.
Great stuff here. Thanks, Ali. Yeah, of course, Jody's replied to that one as well. So that's really good. And on a related note, there, Rithvik's asking how many days before does a student need to be present at the university before starting their course? That's an interesting question. Do you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, normally we advise or we expect students to arrive as soon as they get a visa. Okay, so we normally advise students to arrive before the start date so that they will not miss any classes, or especially the orientation classes. That will help students to get into their academic life in the UK. So we advise students to arrive before the start date.
Great stuff. And Trevor, you're heavily involved with things like induction and so forth and orientation. So I don't know if you want to add something to that.
Yeah, just like my colleague just mentioned, it's really important that you come in to join those induction, because the truth of the matter is the more you can engage with the university, things that happen outside the classroom, the more you have a very positive student experience. So we also understand that sometimes you could have issues with visa delays. We have students who come really late, but guess what? Here at the University of Chester, we do understand all of that. There are some things that are beyond your control, particularly with UKVI. So what we do, we have a system in place to see how we can, even when you come late, weeks after, we can see how we can still usher you in, provide you with all the relevant support. As the director of the MBA program, for example, the modules that run under my program, the module leaders are aware of this. The admin team, we all work as a team to make sure that our students have that positive experience. And now in recent times, you won't believe this, we're already bringing in even students to come and act as mentors to also support latecomers. So those students can also further support you. Students who've recently just graduated to come in to tell you that sort of peer mentoring, peer support. And we found that really useful. So by all means, it doesn't matter when you come, as much as possible, we would love you. As soon as you get the visa, plan before getting the visa, like you come in, and as soon as you get it, come immediately, join the induction program, get every information you need, because of some really, really good information we're going to be sharing with you at the time. And at that point, you start making friends, start hearing from other students. So as much as we would like you to take your time, but please, if you can, come on time. All right, so just get things done on time, get the application in on time, get the visa application in on time, and hopefully you get a visa, come in here and let's spend time together. So as far as we're concerned, we want to have you early enough. So long as UKVI can allow you travel and you can afford it, please, by all means, just come around. Thank you.
It's really good.
Just to add,
sorry,
Alex, just to add to what Trevor said about visa delays. Nowadays, there are a lot of there are a lot of visa delays. Even priority visa students are also waiting for 2 to 3 weeks to get a decision. So that is why we strongly advise students to complete the process, at least much in advance to the course start date. If they can get a CAS letter at least 30 to 40 days before the start date, so they can able to get a decision within time, and they can arrive, they can join the university before the start date, so that they will not miss orientation classes and initial days, which are crucial for students to adjust themselves into the new academic lifestyle. So that this is very important. That is why we advise students to arrive before the start date.
That's great. And Trevor, you make a good point about it's really brilliant when our international students say to us, which they do quite often, how can I get involved, supporting other students as well? So between, your module tutors, your program leader, your personal academic tutor, our Ask team are absolutely brilliant as well. And then kind of student support mentors, that helps, doesn't it, on this journey? And particularly, we have experienced some delays recently with visas, so it becomes even more important, doesn't it, to try and make sure students are supported on that journey. It's worth mentioning as well, gentlemen, we've got a new products, new programs coming along, including our 2-year masters and our pre-masters, and we hope those products will help orient students as well. Ali, maybe we'll come to you first. Having a 2-year masters with a placement or a pre-masters, is that important to students from Pakistan?
Yeah, it is very important for the students, because they want to have the degree as well as related experience in their field. And the universities who are running these programs, they're able to attract a very big number of students. So by introducing these programs, we are giving students a chance to get their degree at the university and get a very valuable experience, which is going to help them with their PSW years and with their professional life afterwards. So I'm very positive that in September 2024 we'll be recruiting so many students onto these placement year programs. And not only these placement year programs, the new programs we have introduced, so fintech and business analytics, management, information systems and innovation, and those kind of programs. I'm very positive that there is a big kind of appetite for these programs in the market, and students are willing to join these programs. So let's hope for the best, and fingers crossed for September, October intake onto these programs.
That's great, Ali. So some of those new programs, like applied artificial intelligence, I wish I was doing myself. So there's an exciting portfolio of new programs. Kiran, what about from your perspective in your markets, about the kind of the popular programs or new programs? What's particularly appealing from your perspective?
I think let's see, these placement programs are popular among Indian students, and not only Indian students, South Asian students, because if you look at marketing and recruitment point of view, very important, because lot of universities are offering 2 years masters. And if you see academic side also, in case if once they complete their master's degree, when they come back to India, especially we had some issues with 1 year master's degree earlier, because uh, earlier the AIU, Association of Indian Universities, was not accepting 1 year master's degree for further studies, and if students want to do a research, join a research program in any Indian government universities, okay. But of course, there were some discussions between the Indian government and also the UK government. I think they signed an agreement to recognize each other's qualification that includes 1 year master's degree. But coming to our 2 years master's courses, if I'm not wrong, these are incorporated within the master's degree. Unlike what other UK universities offer, they say you students complete a master's 1 year, then they go for the placement. But here, I think at the end of the placement, students will submit a report, and they get some credits for that. So that means it is incorporated within the master's degree. So that gives more advantage than what other universities are offering, like 1 year study plus 1 year placement.
Wonderful. Thanks, Kira. No, that's a lovely comment there from M. Sharif Ibrahimi. I want to be a student at this university, and I'm way to success, inshallah. That's a great point. Muriel is backstage. Muriel, I wonder if I could just ask you to just come in for a second. I'll if you unmute Muriel, I'll just add you to the stage so you could just make your point as well, if that's okay. Here we go, Muriel. So you were mentioning about teaching-based programs and careers, Muriel?
Oh, yeah, because we were talking about placements and programs in general. Yes. So instead of going down the course route, I was thinking in my head other sorts of like graduate programs. So whether you've graduated or not, on our Careers Hub site, Careers Hub, where you can log in either as a current student, a graduate, or an alumni up to 2 years, or I think even as staff or something. But yeah, basically there are a couple of logins that you can log in from, and then when you go on there, in the last couple of weeks or was it months, I've seen a couple of teaching based jobs come on there, because that has become really strong around Chester in UK as of recently, because there are teaching assistant jobs going on, and you know those what do you call them, the support cover teaching and that kind of aspect of jobs and stuff. So if students are interested in that side of things and pursuing teaching at high school or even university level, I think that's something we can look into.
That's great, Muriel. Thanks so much for that. It's nice to hear. I was just interviewing yesterday for we've got the uni job system. We've got research budget, so I put forward a job description around assistant researchers. So I was interviewing international students for that post yesterday as well. We should be able to offer 2 paid opportunities for our international students to assist on some of our university research as well, which is really good. So M. Sharif is asking if you could say something. Obviously, any final comments? We've got a couple of minutes left in the show. If you can add a comment, you've got any questions for anybody, please do. And as Jody notes there, you can obviously, you've got a question about Pakistan. Obviously, you can contact Ali as well, and Kiran, your details as well are on the website as well. So if any prospective students are looking at the international section of our website, you'll see a page for the respective countries, whatever that looks like as well, and the contact details as well.
If I may chip in, I actually was in contact with Mr. Ali while I was applying. So I can assure you, if somebody reaches out to Mr. Ali, he's really helpful, and he will actually help you through the process.
Yeah. And I still remember those late night WhatsApp texts.
Yeah, it was so helpful. And because, you know, that whole application process, submitting that, then the CAS stages, this CAS shield is, GI forms to submit, all of that. I mean, the sending of the documents, approving, like, oh, is this right or not? Are my answers fine or not? Is my personal statement right or not? That to and fro was so much needed, and it was given, and it was absolutely amazing.
And probably
I can vouch for Ali because I worked with him. That's why I put it out there.
Thank you, Meral. And that is why University of Chester last year we were regarded as among the top 5 universities for their international students. So starting from your day one, when you raise a query or maybe when you launch an application, you start to get the full support from the university staff. So whether it's your enrollment, whether it's induction, whether it's the assessments and assignments during the studies, the teams are always there to support you, and we have support for everything, whether you are feeling homesick, whether you are in need of some academic kind of support, whether you need to improve your mathematical numeracy skills. We have support available on the campus.
Yeah, and I'm a
Fantastic.
very nagging person, so Ali would know how. I think I can speak for all students. You can call into the international office. Nobody would answer you. I mean, not in a bad way, but like you can still call in. You can like keep calling. I would Skype call all the time. All the numbers given on the university site, so somebody would get back to you eventually. But keep ringing on the numbers.
So we've just put, they were asking about Kiran's details as well. So it's almost bringing us to the end of this show. So I've just brought everybody back on stage just to say a massive thank you to everybody today. It's been a wonderful show, and thanks to our audience as well for all the brilliant comments. So I think that brings us to the end of our episode 2. But thanks everybody so much for your time and all the questions, and we'll see you back very soon. Keep an eye on our LinkedIn channel, and thanks Tammy for the reminder to look out for the International Citizen Student Show on YouTube as well through the for the YouTube channel, and obviously the LinkedIn page as well, the International Citizen Student Show. So I think everybody, that brings us to the end. So I'll see you next time and speak to you all later.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alex. Thank you to our
Thank you for this
Thank you, Alex.
opportunity.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you.
Thank you to the presenter.